everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy you're here, and if you're new, hi, my name is Anna, and today's video is all about my hair routine, how I've grown my hair, and my favorite hair products. So I just want to preface this with saying I am a licensed cosmetologist. I graduated from Paul Mitchell, the school in Michigan in 2019, but I'm not a doctor, so just keep that in mind as we go along. So let's get right into it. So first of all, I want to talk about how I went from really short hair. I'll show you guys some pictures. I can't wait to show you the before pictures and the after pictures. The hair growth is crazy. I actually spent like $600 something on halo extensions to get my hair longer faster, and honestly I only wore them for like, I would say 6 months, because my hair just took off, and at that point it wasn't even worth it to wear the extensions because the extensions almost just were kind of thin towards the bottom, and it just made my hair look even worse than my hair actually was doing because it grew so fast. So the first thing is taking biotin. Now, you cannot take something unless, it's prescribed to actually grow your hair, but there's 3 phases of hair growth: anagen, catagen, and telogen. Biotin does not make those 3 stages go quicker. Like, it does not make the 3 stages of hair go faster, but what biotin does is when you are in the anagen phase, when your hair, each follicle is in that anagen phase, will grow longer. So let's say before you started taking biotin, your hair was growing 1/8 of an inch in the anagen phase. When taking biotin, your hair might grow 1/4 of an inch in the anagen phase. The thing about biotin is that you want to take it every single day and be consistent with it, because you never know when your hair is going through the anagen phase. Let's say you try taking it and it doesn't work. Maybe you were just in the other 2 phases, but like I said, it only helps your hair grow longer in that one phase. So that's why you want to take it consistently. The most you can take, I've asked a pharmacist myself, is 10,000 milligrams. Not milligrams, mcg. I don't know what that means. Micrograms? I don't know, it's 10,000 of these. You see a lot with like 2,000 or 1,000. You can actually take 10,000. So I take one of these daily. I actually have not been taking these though, because they can cause acne. So my esthetician told me not to take them. Honestly, I haven't seen the biggest difference in my acne from not taking them. I haven't been taking them for probably 8 months. But when it was the start of my hair journey, I was taking these. Now, these will make hair grow everywhere, but if you shave or wax or whatever you want to do, laser, it doesn't really, I don't feel like it's that big of a deal, because you're already shaving and waxing and lasering anyway. The other good thing is that you might see a difference in your eyelashes and your eyebrows. So yes, it's annoying because maybe you get a little more hair all over, but like, think about your brows and your eyelashes and your hair, like, you're gonna get such beautiful, luscious hair. So like I said, I'm not a doctor, but this did work for me. All right, the next thing is trims. Now, I'm sure you're like, what is the deal with trims? Like, there's people, I feel like, that say trim, 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 get your hair trimmed every 3 months, every 6 months, trim your hair, go get your trims, trim it every 8 weeks. Like, they're like crazy about trimming your hair. And then I feel like there's the other side that's like, that doesn't make sense. Don't trim your hair, because your hair grows out of your head. Why would you cut it off? Because like, that doesn't make sense. So I'm here to tell you the truth about trimming your hair, and it depends. So that's the final answer, is it depends on you. You know your hair better than anyone else, and you should trim your hair when it is breaking, because if you have broken, damaged hair, that means it's breaking off. That means you're losing length. And so it's better to trim it off and get a clean, nice edge instead of a split end if you have broken, damaged hair. Now, let's take, like, okay, for me, for example, I don't have split ends right now. I don't have any broken pieces. I don't have damage. I'm not going to go trim my hair, because that wouldn't make sense. That would be taking length off when I don't need to. Now, if I start seeing some split ends and I'm like, okay, it's been, a long time since I went in, this makes sense, I have split ends, I'm gonna go get a trim. That makes sense because you don't want it to break off and lose length. You would rather lose length by trimming it. So I hope that clears it up. For me personally, I get a trim probably at the least 8 months and at the most a year and a half. Like honestly, I don't get a trim but once a year, I would say. But I take care of my hair to ensure that I don't have split ends and I don't have breakage. So that's also why my hair grows, is because my hair isn't breaking off, and because I'm keeping it healthy, I don't have to get trims all the time. You'll lose length faster if it's breaking off than if you just trim it off. So that's the big question about trims answered. And okay, so you might be wondering now, Anna, how do I prevent breakage? How do I prevent split ends? How do I take care of my hair? So first of all, go get a trim if you have split ends. You will see the split ends. If you take your hair and look at it and look at the very tips, you will literally see a Y at the end. Another trick is when you go to your stylist, make sure to tell her what your end goal is. Say, I'm really trying to grow out my hair, but I know that I need to get all my broken ends off. What's the best way for us to do that? Because there are different haircuts. There's square cuts, there's round cuts. Let's say you have a round cut, so the back is longer than your front, but maybe you have more dead ends near the back. She could just cut those off in a square cut and make it all the same length than cutting the front when there's no dead pieces. So just make sure you tell your stylist what your end game is and that you're trying to grow out your hair. This doesn't mean, oh, she's only going to take off 1 millimeter, because if you have an inch of dead ends, you really, really should cut off the inch of dead ends. And your hair in the end, after you get a trim, will even look longer, because if you think of thick hair and then thin, scraggly hair, and then you just think of thick hair, but maybe it's shorter than the scraggly hair, the thick hair actually looks longer because all of it is healthy. When you have long hair, but maybe it's scraggly at the end, it really doesn't add length because it's just so unhealthy looking. So your hair will look fuller and more healthy and longer if you just get those dead ends trimmed off. Moving on from trims is how to prevent breakage. First is ponytails. I will link below my favorite ponytails. I don't have one right here. I wish I did. But they are not those elastics that we all grew up using. They are not the ones with like that cloth over it. You don't want to use those. You want to use non-breaking ponytails. They are so much better. I personally love them even more because they just don't feel like they're ripping your hair out of your head, and also you can still get a tight bun and everything. If you use a couple, like I use 2 to make a tight bun, and it stays all day and they're not breaking my hair. Another thing is claw clips. I love that that trend is coming around because that means like no more harsh ponytails. And then another thing for a hairstyle is braiding your hair at night. That can really save your hair from like moving around and breaking with the friction of your head and your arms or wherever it is. Maybe it's your back, but the truth is that when we sleep, we cause friction to our hair. That leads me into using a silk pillowcase, a real silk, not a satin. I use a Lily silk pillowcase. I'll link them down below. I really like all of their products, especially the pillowcase, because I know it's real silk. That just, helps your hair because it's less friction. It's better for your skin. I know you guys have all heard about the silk pillowcases. The next thing is using t-shirts as your towel, or use a microfiber towel when you are drying your hair. Personally, I didn't want to spend money on a microfiber towel just for my hair, so I took some old t-shirts that are really soft and I use those. I literally put it on and wrap it up just like a towel, and it's so much better for your hair because those thick cotton towels can be really heavy and harsh on your hair, especially when it's wet. When your hair is wet, it's more fragile when it's dry, so that's why you want to use a really soft t-shirt or really really soft, like microfiber towel to dry your hair. The next thing is that you don't want to wring out your hair after the shower. You don't want to twist it and like really pull it, because like I said, it's so fragile in that wet condition. You just want to lightly squeeze it out, and using that really soft towel or t-shirt, you can do the same thing, but just don't twist it up and like wring it out. The next thing is also kind of ties in with the shower, is that you want to do a cold rinse after your conditioner. Like after you're all done shampooing, you're all done with your hair masks or conditioner, whatever you put on your hair, you want to do a cold rinse because that closes the cuticle of your hair. If you get out of the shower right after you put like super hot water on your hair, your cuticle of your hair will stay open, and that is what creates frizz. So you want to do a cold rinse after all your products are in, and that will close down the cuticle, make your hair sleeker, make it less fragile when you get out of the shower. Next up is products. So just making sure you use heat protectant. This is one of my biggest tips, is use heat protectant, especially on those ends. This can be in the form of a leave-in conditioner. This can be in a spray form, any form you want to. Just make sure you're using heat protectant, whether you are curling it, straightening it, blow drying it. Your hair does not naturally like hair tools, so it's important to use heat protectant. And then honestly, hair tools are not that bad for your hair, as long as the heat temperature is turned down according to your hair type. You should never want your curling iron or straightener at 400 or anything like that, unless you have naturally curly, coarse hair. Then you could, use a higher setting. But hair like mine, like at the most 350, 375 at the most. If you have fine hair, you want to do like 300. So that's very important too. And then the last little thing to prevent breakage is moisture. You can never get enough moisture in your hair. Let me say that again. You can never have too much moisture in your hair. Now, there's products out there that say keratin and this and that. You can have too much keratin. Keratin is protein. Your hair will get frizzy and will actually start breaking if you have too much keratin. So you want to use a keratin mask or product once a week at the most, but moisture products you can use as many times a week as you want. Your hair loves moisture, so just keep that in mind. Whether that's in the form of a leave-in conditioner, a hair mask, oil. Now, moving on to my favorite hair products. Let's start with tools. So you guys all know I just recently got the Shark FlexStyle. It is the best purchase I've ever made in my whole life. Like, I'm not even kidding. I love this thing. That's what gave me this like blowout curl look. I absolutely love it. This stays in my hair for days, right up until I wash it. So I absolutely love that. It is easy to use, and I have a video on that. I will link it right here above my head. So if you're interested in seeing how that works, then click that video after this is done. And then the other hair tool that just has been really standing out to me is this waver. Also, you're not supposed to wrap your cords around your tools, but I just did because it was in my suitcase to go to Vegas. But this is a hair waver. I absolutely love this. It just is so easy to use and gives such a different look than just curls or being straight. I also love it because it is so easy to, okay, let's say you wash your hair, braid it, just a simple one braid, that's it. Go to bed, in the morning your hair's dry. But what do you do about this? You just take your waver and wave it, and then you just have these natural, beautiful waves that you don't even have to wave your whole head because you did the braid. You just have to, touch up a few spots, and I just think it's so easy, and you can look sexy like that. You can look so cute like that. It's just, I love waved hair. You can look like you just went to the beach if you put some texture spray in it. So that tool has been really standing out to me, as well as the Shark FlexStyle. All right, so moving on to products. All right, so first things first, like I said, moisture. I love this leave-in conditioner by Aveda. Now, really any leave-in conditioner is good, but I like this because it has heat protectant in it. So I know that when I'm putting this in, I'm already getting a layer of heat protectant. This is cherry almond scent, and it just is, I didn't even open it. It smells so good. I do have this shampoo and conditioner too, but I don't know if it like really stands out to me as my favorite. I don't have a favorite shampoo and conditioner here today to show you guys because I just really switch around. I like Aveda, I like Paul Mitchell, I like It's a 10. So really any good brand. All right, the next thing that I love is this Living Proof. This is heat protectant spray. So what I like about this is it's a spray, like you can just dry it and spray it in dry hair. And I like having both this leave-in conditioner with heat protectant and this because I'm not gonna put leave-in conditioner in my roots because that would just make them really greasy. So when I take this and like spray that in my roots if my hair is dry. Obviously, if I'm giving myself a blowout, I have actually have a different thermal mist that's for wet hair, so I use that. And sometimes I just use this. So you don't have to be perfect, but just make sure you're putting that heat protectant in. But yeah, this is really great for if I don't put this in, maybe it's a couple weeks later, I forgot to put this in when my hair was wet. I'll just spray this if my hair is dry and then curl my hair, whatever I want to do. Next up is dry texture spray. If you don't have texture spray, you've got to get your hands on this because this just makes your hair so much more voluminous. I don't even know how to explain it. Like if you feel like you have thin hair, use some texture spray. If you have thick hair and you feel like your hair looks dull, use texture spray. Like it's just the best thing, especially with those waves I was mentioning. If you just like spray some in, it's so nice. Also, it's nice too, even if you're putting your hair up. Let's say you want a bigger messy bun, you want a bigger braid, just add in that texture spray. It's perfect. All right, so then my next favorite is dry shampoo. My favorite brand of dry shampoo ever is Aussie. So random, such a drugstore like product. Best dry shampoo I've ever tried in my whole life. This is it's called Tussle Hustle Full Cleansing Texture. This is white. So if you have dark hair, be careful. I just try to spray it like really high and like really rub it in. But yeah, this is the greatest dry shampoo if you have really greasy hair. But I do like sometimes I don't want to deal with the white. And if I just need a little bit or something, I'll use like a brown, I think it's Batiste, and it has like the brown color in it. But yeah, for dry shampoo, that's really good. And then this is like, oh my gosh, I don't even know what I would do without this product. This might be my all-time favorite product out of every single one of these. It is the Redken Frizz Dismiss. You literally just spray this on. I think you can do it wet, but I do it dry. So I like literally blow dry my hair and everything, and I spray it all over and I brush my hair and the frizz just like disappears. Totally disappears. And now I'm seeing that this is level 20, but you can get up to level 40. I didn't even know that. Wow. So I love this stuff. I've been using this since high school. All right, the next thing is this Way, if that's how you say it, hair oil. I love this hair oil. It smells scrumptious. It smells so good. And I usually use like a pump to 2 pumps. And it just makes my hair so sleek. If my hair, like in a couple days, I'll probably add some more. My favorite hairsprays are Kenra. So this is a medium hold hairspray. So something like this, I only really want a medium hold because I want it to be movable. I want it to not look stiff, if you know what I mean. I love this stuff. It's a great product. And then the other one is Super Hold Finishing Spray. I'm using this if I need like a slick bun or an updo or something. I use this finishing spray. And then lastly, I love this L'Oreal Magic Root Cover Up. I don't need it because like I don't need the color for my grays or to help my color. Like this is my natural color. But okay, like I have a, what's it called? Cowlick right here. And so when I do a slick bun, it like, there's no hair here because it's a cowlick and it's thin. And so I spray this just to make my hairline look fuller and thicker, and you would never know. And so there's different colors. There's like a ton of different colors, and I'm in dark brown, and I just spray this on like right here. Because you know too, when you slick your hair with a comb, it kind of like makes those creases and you can see your scalp a little bit. So you can just take this and like cover your face and spray it, and your hairline looks so good. And so now I'm going to tell you in order what I did today with my hair, just because I made a short and someone was asking. So what I did today was I washed my hair and conditioned with It's a 10 Glossy. Then I got out of the shower, towel dried it, or t-shirt dried it, then put in this leave-in conditioner. This has my thermal protection. Then I used my Shark Flex Style, which I love. Well, I let it dry 85% of the way, and then I used my Shark Flex Style. Then I hairsprayed it with some medium hairspray, brushed it out, then used this whey oil in the ends, and then sprayed this Frizz Dismiss, like mostly on the top because that's where I get my frizz, is like the top and the sides, and then brushed it straight and then hairsprayed it again, just lightly. So that's what I did today. All right, so that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and comment down below what your favorite product is that you want to try. Make sure you're subscribed. I post every Wednesday and Saturday, so hit the bell for post notifications so you don't miss a video. I will see you next time. Bye.